Listen, I get it. Budgeting on a low income can feel like you're constantly playing defense, just trying to make ends meet. But here's the deal. You absolutely can take control of your finances and even start planning for the future, no matter how tight things are right now. In this video, I'm going to break down 7 practical steps to create a budget that actually works for you, even if you're starting from scratch. And make sure to stick around until the end, because I'm going to share a bonus tip that will help you build real financial stability. Let's do this. Step 1 to conquering your budget is knowing your numbers like the back of your hand. Start by listing out every single source of income you have. Next up, it's expense tracking time. Track everything, even if it's just a few bucks for coffee. Rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, those late-night online shopping sprees. Write it all down. You can use a notebook, a spreadsheet, a budgeting app, whatever works best for you. The key here is to be brutally honest with yourself. You might be surprised at where your money is actually going. This isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. Once you understand your spending habits, you can start making real changes. Knowing your numbers is the first step to taking control of your finances and building a more secure future. Now that you've got a handle on where your money's coming from and going, it's time to categorize that spending. Start by dividing your expenses into 2 main categories: essentials and non-essentials. Essentials are the non-negotiables. Things like rent or mortgage payments, utilities, groceries, transportation, and any debt payments you have. Non-essentials are everything else: entertainment, dining out, shopping, travel, you name it. A lot of people recommend the 50-30-20 budgeting rule, but it's not always realistic for everyone. Focus on covering your essential expenses first, then see how much you have left over for everything else. You might need to adjust those percentages based on your individual circumstances. The important thing is to be honest with yourself about what you can realistically afford in each category. Don't try to force yourself to stick to a budget that just doesn't work with your lifestyle. Remember, this is about creating a budget that you can actually stick to, not one that looks good on paper, but falls apart in the real world. It's time to build that budget. This is where you take all the information you've gathered and turn it into a plan of action. Start with your total monthly income. Write that number down at the top of your page, and don't forget to factor in any side hustles or other income sources you tracked earlier. Next, subtract your essential expenses. Total up all those non-negotiables and subtract that amount from your income. The number you have left over is what you have to work with for everything else: your non-essentials, savings, debt repayments. The important thing is to be honest with yourself about where you can realistically cut back. The goal is to find a balance that works for you, a budget that covers your essential needs while still allowing you to enjoy life a little. Remember, this isn't about deprivation. It's about making conscious choices with your money. And don't be afraid to adjust your budget as needed. Saving money on a low income? Seriously? But here's the thing. Even if it's just a few bucks a week, prioritizing savings is absolutely crucial. Think of it like this. Saving money is like building a financial safety net. Your first savings goal should be to build up an emergency fund. Aim for at least $500 to $1,000 to start, and eventually work your way up to having 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved. Even setting aside $5 or $10 a week adds up over time. One of the best ways to make saving easier is to automate it. Set up a system where a small portion of your paycheck is automatically transferred to your savings account each month. You won't even miss the money, and your savings will grow without you having to think about it. We all have those little spending leaks in our lives. Cutting back on these unnecessary expenses is one of the quickest and easiest ways to free up extra cash in your budget. It's all about being mindful of your spending and identifying areas where you can cut back without drastically impacting your quality of life. Start by taking a hard look at your bank statements and credit card bills. Cancel those unused subscriptions. Start cooking more meals at home instead of ordering takeout, and find ways to enjoy your favorite activities without breaking the bank. Giving up your morning latte or that monthly subscription box might feel like a sacrifice at first, But trust me, the feeling of knowing you have control over your finances and are actively working towards your goals is incredibly empowering. Every dollar you save is a dollar you can put towards something that truly matters to you. You've got your budget set up, you're motivated to save, you're cutting back on unnecessary expenses. Now, how do you actually stay on track? One of the easiest ways to track your spending and stick to your budget is by using a budgeting app. There are a ton of great options out there, like Mint, Good Budget, and YNAB. You need a budget. These apps connect to your bank accounts and credit cards, automatically categorize your transactions, and even send you alerts when you're nearing your budget limits. If you prefer a more hands-on approach, you might like the envelope system. This classic budgeting method involves dividing your cash into separate envelopes labeled with different spending categories. No matter what method you choose, the key is to find a system that works for you and stick with it. Regularly review your budget, track your progress, and make adjustments as needed. We've talked about managing your money, but what about making more of it? If you've trimmed your budget as much as possible and you're still struggling to make ends meet, it might be time to explore ways to increase your income. There are more ways than ever to earn extra cash on the side. Freelancing platforms like Upwork and Fiverr offer a wide range of opportunities to put your skills to work. If you enjoy working with your hands, consider selling handmade or vintage items on Etsy. And if you have a knack for teaching or tutoring, platforms like VIPKid and TutorMe connect you with students from around the world. Don't underestimate the power of the gig economy either. Driving for Uber or Lyft, delivering food with DoorDash or Grubhub, or running errands with TaskRabbit can provide a flexible way to earn extra income on your own schedule. Every little bit helps. Even an extra $100 or $200 a month can make a big difference when you're on a tight budget. And here's a bonus tip. Celebrate your small wins. Whether you save an extra $10 this week or pay off a small bill, acknowledging these milestones keeps you motivated. It's a reminder that every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to financial stability. Progress is progress, and it's worth celebrating. Taking a moment to recognize your achievements can make a big difference in maintaining a positive mindset. Maybe you treat yourself to a small reward or simply take a moment to reflect on your progress. These celebrations reinforce the good habits you're building and keep you focused on your long-term goals. Remember, the journey to financial freedom is made up of many small steps, and each one is an important part of your success story. So go ahead, celebrate those small wins and keep pushing forward. You've got this.